Courage the Cowardly Dog was a pretty creepy show when we were all kids, right? Today I'm going to cover 10 times the show wasn't so scary. Welcome back to Laffy Tunes, let's get into the video. Number 10, Courage helps a swamp monster find his bride. It should be a no-brainer that a series that purposefully cultivates a horror aesthetic would have an homage or two to classic horror films. It just so happens that in Bride of Swamp Monster, Courage was able to honor both the Bride of Frankenstein and Creature from the Black Lagoon, as well as tell a touching story about lost lovers. When a swamp monster begins to suspect that Muriel is somehow his lost bride, Courage is tasked with finding the real one unless he wants Muriel to be dragged into the swamp. Number 9, Courage helps Bigfoot find his mom. Unlike so many others, Courage has no interest in discovering Bigfoot. Despite the legendary cryptid's media frenzied history, seeing the giant hairy monster would probably be too stimulating for the pink dog. In comes the episode Courage meets Bigfoot. As per usual, Courage is initially freaked out when he suddenly crosses paths with the famous Bigfoot. However, he begins to see the creature in a new light when he discovers that it's just the lost little boy of a concerned mother. Number 8, Courage helps a beaver regain his love for Jazz. While this series is filled with a variety of monsters and malevolent forces, not all of Courage's problems are solved with fighting or running away. Sometimes he just needs to spend time with what he initially fears and help them work through their own problems. That's exactly the case in A Beaver's Tale, when Courage's once dry and barren home suddenly becomes flooded. Doing what beavers do, one overzealous beaver apparently built a gigantic dam that drew water towards the farm. It's only after learning the little critter's appreciation for Jazz and his own subsequent hardships against his disapproving father does Courage realize he had to bring music back into the beaver's life. Number 7, Courage reconnects Bunny and Kitty. Courage the Cowardly Dog may be famous for its scary villains, but some of its most beloved episodes are renowned more for their heart rather than their suspense. In one of the series' popular episodes, The Mask, the farm is suddenly greeted with a wandering traveler simply known for her white gown, mask, and a strong hatred for dogs. This portion of the episode was quite freaky, however the coldness and harshness of this character is greatly contrasted by the conclusion of the episode. Number 6, Courage helps the dragon eat fish and not people. The episode, Food of the Dragon at its heart, wasn't even scary. For a good portion of the episode, it showed a large dragon just struggling to catch and eat Courage's family, and the dragon himself didn't even carry all that intimidating of a demeanor. As the episode goes on, Courage helps the dragon discover his roots. The dragon was really a water dragon who had gotten separated from his family and was raised by fire-breathing, people-eating dragons. Number 5, the giant kangaroo fight. If there's one thing that's often overlooked in this series, it's the level of camp held throughout its stories. As famous as it is for its scares, Courage the Cowardly Dog is a dark comedy, and it often holds true to the comedy aspect with plenty of quick jokes, heartfelt stories, and overly outrageous episodes such as The Transplant. A surgical mishap has Eustace turn into a giant destructive kangaroo, and Courage's only solution to stop him is to turn himself into a giant kangaroo. Number 4, Courage buys some monks some fancy clothes. It's hard not to laugh with this series when some of its solutions to otherwise really dark dilemmas are so silly. In Forbidden Hat of Gold, Courage's family is at odds with a group of monks when Eustace tries to steal the episode's namesake. They were apparently intruding on a land that forewent greed and vanity at all costs, and that's pretty much what Eustace Beige is all about. When it looks like Muriel is about to be punished by a giant stone golem, Courage decides to use the monks' policy against them and buys them all, including the golem and some stylish fur coats. Number 3, Courage fights an army of eggplants. Not everything Courage is up against is inherently scary, especially a group of eggplants. Even as an army, the concept and the actual characters are more innocuous than not. In Journey to the Center of Nowhere, Muriel plans to cook some of the eggplants from her garden for a nice meal. The eggplants themselves apparently catch wind of this and hatch up their own coup against Muriel. It's a premise practically taken from either a DreamWorks or a Pixar film that's only made even sillier when Courage dresses up as a great eggplant. Number 2, Cowboy Courage. Just like how not every monster needs to be inherently scary, not every episode even needs to be horror or suspense themed. Sometimes the cast and creators just want to have fun, and that sense of whimsy permeates the entirety of Cowboy Courage. The episode is exactly as advertised. It's an Old West version of Courage the Cowardly Dog, where Muriel acts as a damsel in distress. Eustace acts as a vicious outlaw, and Courage acts as the brave new sheriff. Number 1, Courage bonds with the Hunchback. While there are plenty of lighthearted episodes in Courage the Cowardly Dog, few have been as consistently uplifting as the Hunchback of Nowhere. Here, a wandering hunchback struggles to find shelter across nowhere and doesn't get any better treatment when he stops by Eustace's door. Not getting much better treatment from the house himself, Courage meets the Hunchback once again when he finds him hiding out within the barn. While there, the two connect in a variety of fun and whimsical games such as shadow puppetry, bell ringing, and even some practice with a trapeze act. The Hunchback himself even defends Courage from Eustace more often than any other character in the series, and got to leave the episode. Not as a monster, but as a friend that any fan can look fondly back to. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.